Ho, ho, ho.
Happy holidays!
Welcome to What Is She Thinking? It is I, Melanie Marshall, and Dr. Heather Collins. We are here to welcome you to What Is She Thinking? The Tender Loving Care episode. Today, you might notice that I have gotten very cozy, which I thought we were both doing.
My cozy background didn't work out so well, thanks to lighting constraints and feline constraints.
Okay, so it's fine. And you know what? I'm going to give you a pass on that because one of the things we're going to talk about is how we support each other and just accept things the way they are to get through this holiday period with tender, loving care, right? So this is an example. Sure. Do I have Christmas lights everywhere? Yeah, I do. I love your scarf, though, Heather. That's very nice.
Thank you. I have my cozy sweater, my cozy scarf, and my cozy cup of coffee.
Woo! I think we both got coffee today.
Cheers.
Cheers, my dear. So what are you looking forward to digging into today?
I am looking forward to digging into the small moments at this crazy time of year, and not the small moments to relish or take pleasure in, the small moments that are really important for kind of keeping everybody in a good place, really not just with ourselves, but with other people, and what we can do to make these big festivities and gatherings and events a good place and a good time for everybody, not just ourselves, but what we can do for others. How about you, Melanie?
I love that. I love that. I think it's so I'm really looking forward to that because I think we really want to give people some strategies for how they can help and be with the people in their lives. And I know you've got that in spades. And we're also going to talk, and I'm looking forward to talking about what to do when you look at the world and think, well, that isn't very festive, which honestly, I think quite a few people are.
Funny how the world doesn't cooperate with the calendar sometimes.
Yeah,
We're in festive season and the world is just like, no.
And I think there are a lot of people who are like, well, look, like 2025 can it go? And I'm like, I have the perspective of, I remember how many people have been saying this, for quite a few years. So I think there's some things we can do that maybe change how we see the world. And that can help. And we do also want you to take TLC for yourself. So all of that I'm looking forward to. And just, I don't know, being nice to each other and to all of you. I mean, not that we're normally mean, but,
we try not to be.
Try not to be. Yeah. Here's our promo. We're mean and you love it.
Stay tuned for the Mean Girls episode.
Yeah. Woo. Oh, write that one down.
Writing it down.
So I wanted to start. Part of this came up because you and I had a conversation about helping families and people who would be together this year while dealing with cognitive impairment and with memory loss, and that there are ways that cannot be the worst, that there are ways that you can enjoy that even though it's a very new form. And I know I have friends who are going through that now and who are trying to find the balance of like whether they just run away and hide or how do they engage, and they want to be with their family member, but it's not the same person. The person isn't the same as they were a year ago or 2 years ago. And one person in particular, I'm trying to avoid identifying details, but the person, they basically, Thanksgiving was a disaster. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because they tried to force, not them, but one family member tried to force somebody who is going through cognitive decline into a Thanksgiving exactly like it always was. And it caused basically a total meltdown. They couldn't handle it. It was too much. They lost it with the grandkids. It just went totally wrong. And nobody liked it. Everybody ended up upset. And now they're thinking, well, what do we do this Christmas?
Yeah, a recipe for disaster is everybody's least favorite holiday recipe. And we don't want to reenact that for Christmas if it happened on Thanksgiving. And what we're really talking about here is typically an older adult who's a family member, could be a parent, grandparent, maybe even a aunt, uncle, great grandparent if you're lucky. And there is some cognitive decline that is normal that happens with aging. It sounds like what you're talking about is really somebody who has significant memory impairment, some kind of dementia, perhaps even Alzheimer's disease or mild cognitive impairment. And in those situations, we all really want our beloved traditions to continue, and we want to include that person for as long as possible, but in a way that's really serving us and not our family member. And when it comes time to serving our family member at holidays, what we have to do is understand where they are and what's the best for them. So, for example, bringing somebody who is having cognitive challenges and difficulty to a big family dinner. I mean, I don't know about you, Melanie. That's challenging for me on some days.
Oh my gosh, me too. Me too.
So this is challenging for many of us who don't have memory issues or cognitive impairment. And by golly, for somebody who has Alzheimer's disease or memory challenges, this is take that elevated stress you're feeling, that's just going to skyrocket to 11 for them. So what we want to do is really help them have the best holiday they can have. And that number one is understanding where they're comfortable. It could be that they're comfortable at their own home, wherever they're living, even if that's a care facility, they could be most comfortable there because that's the environment they're used to. And when you have memory challenges, new environments and new stimulation can be really, really challenging and actually even threatening to a person.
Right.
And so then what you're doing is instead of sparking joy, you're actually ramping up fear. So, maybe that means you identify where they're comfortable. And number two, bring the party to them. Right. And that could be bringing them a plate for a meal. That could be visiting them before the event. That could be visiting them after. Whatever it is, you can have a good time with them. Number three, don't make it the entire party you bring to them. For somebody who has Alzheimer's disease or some kind of dementia, a large gathering of people, again, is going to feel very overstimulating, and their cognitive system is already, not functioning at its peak. And when you overstimulate them, really, they're just going to end up shutting down. And some of these diseases, Alzheimer's disease in particular, is also associated with some anger issues. Yeah. So family members who are undergoing this disease, some of them, not all of them, can be prone to anger.
This happened for this person.
Yeah. And that's going to be likely to happen if you're overstimulating them. So rather than, all the grandkids, maybe you bring the favorite grandkid to visit them.
And there is one. There's always one.
We know there's always one. Luckily, that's me.
Oh, yeah. I know it's you. It's definitely you.
You bring the favorite grandkid. Maybe 2 or 3 people go earlier in their day to visit grandma, and 2 or 3 people go a little later in the day or even the next day. You can spread the love out. It doesn't have to all happen on the one day of Christmas or the one holiday. You can spread it out, and that's okay. And really, all you're looking to do is put a smile on their face. Yeah. Don't. I would say also manage expectations. Don't expect them. Grandma, do you remember me? I'm so-and-so. Well, if grandma has Alzheimer's disease, grandma might not be able to remember you. Grandma might, in fact, one common thing is mistake you for your dad or your mom or somebody else. Mistaking a younger family member for an older family member is very, very common for people with Alzheimer's disease. That's okay. Don't correct them. If you're correcting somebody with Alzheimer's disease, you're really doing that for you, not them. If they think you're so-and-so, it's okay to just go along with that. If they're in a happy place and having an older memory, just roll with it.
I just wanted to pick that up because I think that's something we think people know, but it's really important. So I just wanted to pull that one out, that it is, because would that fall under that it overstimulates or it challenges them again? Like if they're in a happy place and then you challenge them, that takes a cognitive system that is not working great and suddenly puts it into a bad place.
Yeah, they become confused, and it's really easy to slide from confusion to fear.
Yeah, and that's what we want to avoid, obviously.
And
And
one of
nobody wants to do that to their beloved
No,
family member.
and whatever makes them happy, do it. That could be a piece of pumpkin pie if that's their favorite. That could be bringing them flowers if they love flowers. One of my dear friends, when her mom had Alzheimer's disease, she would actually bring her a small stuffy. She started collecting stuffies when she had Alzheimer's disease, and that was what brought her joy. And so my friend would bring her a little stuffy every time she visited, even long after her mother didn't recognize her. She brought her a stuffy, and that stuffy put a smile on her face.
I love this. It's so simple, and yet I think it's challenging, right? It isn't the only type of challenge we have, taking care of others, but it is a big one, I think, for a lot of people now. And especially with your expertise, that, you think, well, if they don't recognize me, how can I connect with them? If they aren't who they were. And I think that's what you're answering there, right? Pumpkin pie or stuffies. Like, so if I'm asking you that, if they don't recognize me, how do I connect with them?
Yeah, bring them something that sparks joy in them, whatever that is for them. And also just be warm. Even if they don't recognize you as a person, we recognize smiles as being something warm and friendly. And it, perhaps even a hug or a pat on the back if they're up for that, if they're somewhat familiar for you. And they might not be able to place you exactly, but they might still have a sense of familiarity with you, that this is a person with whom I feel pretty warmly about, and I can kind of trust them.
Yeah, I love
so
that.
Just embrace that warm feeling. That's the best thing you can do. Create warmth and embrace whatever warmth you can provide to them and they give you back in return.
I love this. Thank you, Dr. Heather. This is so, so, so helpful to me, and I hope to everybody else watching. I mean, I always think that, not just with cognitive decline, but so for me, if I'm supporting a friend who is going through this, or who are having these problems, my thing is always, don't force it with anything. Like, the worst thing I would say, if you're trying to support a friend, is do not try to wrap them in tinsel and light them up. Like,
certainly not without their consent.
Do it after. When people are going through these challenges, if somebody's going through a divorce over the holidays and they don't have their kids, telling them how great everything else is not going to help.
Yeah, I feel like you're alluding to what we talked about earlier, which is sometimes the festive season
let's
is challenged by what's happening in the world.
Well, no, this is about taking care of other people. This is first about taking care of other people, I would say. And it is about this is your personal life, though. And I'm saying that if you're taking care of somebody else who is having a horrible time in their personal life, sit with them in that. Just be with them in that. And if they do not want to watch, A Christmas Story because it's too close to something they used to do with their kids, watch Die Hard, or go and do something, go find some place where there is nothing holiday related. It's similar to what you're saying, and I'm just saying it can be for anything. You just be there with people where they are. Meet people where they are. And that, to me, is the best way that you can support your friends and family who might be having a hard time this year. And that, to me, is what opens up their ability sometimes to then receive joy, is knowing that you're kind of sitting in the darkness with them.
I love that. That's beautiful. And really meeting people where they are is all about this season. And being festive isn't always wrapping people up in Christmas lights or tinsel. It's about sharing a common experience.
Yes.
And I just love that. That was beautiful.
Yeah. And for all of us, as you said, that sharing a common experience, sometimes the common experience is what the bleep. right? Like,
Sometimes it is.
you know, this whole season in every religious tradition is that it is real dark and we aren't sure when the light is going to come. Like, that's what this is. Like, we have blasted it so that the light starts, you know, sometime in September.
Well, what? So this is sort of your area of expertise. Is not to be too blunt about it, seeing in the dark. But you've seen all sorts of dark times happen across the world. So when the world hits us and darkness hits us, what have you seen that works for just getting people through that?
Well, it's funny because I've been thinking a lot about the number of Hanukkahs and Christmases that I have spent in Israel and in the Palestinian territories in Palestine. Recognized as a country now, Palestine. And I don't think about big things. I think about small things, right? I always think about what, and I got into my BBC brain. I was like, oh, I didn't use the right political language there. I'm going to need to go do an edit.
Newsflash, this isn't the BBC.
I know, but I want people to know my heart. My heart is that what I think about is people not waiting for things to be perfect to do a small thing to make things better. That's what I think about. I think about a friend of mine who is from Bethlehem, lived in Bethlehem forever, and sent me pictures of the lighting of the Christmas tree this year. And because it's a big tradition, and it hasn't been lit for a few years because of the war. And they lit it this year because they were like, well, maybe there's a hope for peace. And it was controversial because some people said, well, it's not peace yet. Things are still bad. And I was like, yeah, they're still bad, but then there is some light. And if you saw the videos of little kids grabbing Santa's hand because they were so excited that Santa was like, Santa's here, in the same ways they're excited anywhere.
I love this.
And people gathered around the tree lit up in Manger Square. And there are actual tourists back buying things. And there is nothing wrong with holding on to that light together and doing the one thing you can do, right? Light up the tree, bring Santa in. And that's what I've seen works, right? When you can, you do one step forward. And I think about, like, for people right now, like, okay, your option you might be really upset about the Middle East. You might be really upset about other things that you've seen happening, horrible attacks or anything like that. And I will tell you, you cannot fix that. Like, that is not your thing. But there will be something right in front of you that you can do something about, where you can make a donation, you can help an old person shovel their snow, where you have agency to be of service. And if you are of service, I promise you, you will begin to feel better about the world. Absolutely. You will see the world differently. You will. You'll feel like you have agency. You will see good in the world. You know, I always say that it's not enough to be the helper, the Mr. Rogers thing, look for the helpers, which is the first step, right? Look for the helpers. But then be the helper is even more powerful.
Yeah, sometimes being the helper means creating that glimmer of hope, it sounds like.
Yeah, well, I rambled there, but it's true. I ramble, though, anyway.
Well, I love that you were talking about being the helper and what we can do for other people, because this might not be the first thing that comes to people's minds, but have you ever noticed how chaotic the kitchen is at big holiday gatherings?
Well, not me, because nobody lets me cook. But you are a good cook.
But you've seen it. You've seen it with your own two eyes.
And you know what? I have been told to get the hell out. What about you? What are I think I know what you'd be the person telling me to get the hell out, wouldn't you?
You know me so well. I am the kitchen gatekeeper. Now, sometimes I am actually in the kitchen cooking, but I don't know about. Hey, I can cook.
No, are you okay? Keep going, because you might be about to blow my mind.
Well, I can be in the kitchen cooking, but sometimes if I'm in a big family gathering, maybe especially years ago when all of us would converge at my grandmother's house, it was my grandmother and my mom doing most of the cooking. And the kitchen is typically where people want to hang out at a gathering. But I beg you, when it comes to holidays, protect the cook. This is one simple thing you can do to make everybody's life better at a holiday gathering. Protect the cook. Be the gatekeeper. If you are not in the kitchen helping, you ask the cook who's allowed in and who's not. So kids running in and grabbing cookies, nope, you want to keep them out of the kitchen.
Wow.
So you're going to protect the gatekeeper by bringing the cookies out of the kitchen and putting them elsewhere. Same goes with snacks, because cooking is a full-time cognitive job. Your brain is multitasking, you're timing, you're interacting with your sous chefs or the other cooks. And what we don't want to do is create cognitive overload. If you create cognitive overload for the cook, dinner's not going to go well, and nobody wants that.
Sous chefs? What kind of Christmas dinner are you having?
Look, there's always somebody who's cutting up the vegetables or some such thing, right? And they're all interacting with the chef. Because you're not allowed in. Exactly.
Yeah, somebody's keeping me out of the kitchen.
So one thing you can do is, if you're the cook, find a gatekeeper and assign somebody that task. Nobody comes in or out without them knowing and their permission. Let that gatekeeper know who's allowed in and who's allowed out. And if you are not in the kitchen, please be the gatekeeper and protect that environment to prevent cognitive overload.
Okay, you know what? I think that's an excellent PSA for those of you who are allowed in the kitchen. I'm going to speak to the little black sheep buying at the door. If you have been kicked out of the kitchen by a gatekeeper like Heather, or if you don't have sous chefs by your mom, then it's, or your sister, or anyone else, basically the whole family is allowed in. Here, I want to speak to the introverts, because you know what? This is not an introvert-friendly holiday. Oh, no.
It is not.
Oh, my friend said the other night to me, he's like, oh, I could get you an invite to this party. And I looked at him like he was a crazy person. It was because I told him I had no plans. And I meant it like a good thing.
Right.
So if you are an introvert or a black sheep, find a hidey hole. I'm going to tell you that. Gatekeeper kicks you out and you think that person is not the boss of me, which is your 6-year-old self coming out, or 10-year-old. Find a hidey hole. Find a place to go where you can go and hide. It might be the bathroom, and just recollect yourself. Just kind of bring yourself back and be somewhere that you are able to bring your energy back and be totally in charge of yourself. I go back to story I think I've told on previous episodes, or Heather definitely knows, where when I have been at my most frustrated out on the road, I would go back into my room, I would change into a non-culturally appropriate outfit, and I would put on heavy rap music, like I'd be listening to Eminem, Without Me, which is one of my songs. I'd be listening to Ludacris, Get Back. People are gonna be like, that's not heavy rap music, but it was. And I would be like, yeah, I'm me, I'm in charge of me. And if you then have to go back into the family fray, then you can do it. And I would also like the introverts to practice this phrase: I look forward to staying for an hour. Set your timeline when you arrive.
Love it. One more quick tip for introverts. People ask open-ended questions at parties. Don't do that. Open-ended questions require autobiographical digging and increased stress. Ask closed-ended questions like, have you seen this show on Netflix?
No.
But for an introvert, also have 3 stories ready to go. That way, if somebody asks you how you are, you just rattle off the 3 things you've already prepared. All you need is 3, and that will get you through an entire event.
Does this mean that I won't end up feeling like I have to tell them the truth about what's going on with me and my Mexican car?
Yes, because also the holidays are not a time to dig deep. No, this is when problems happen in big groups. We don't want to dig deep about things. We just want to really chat with people and enjoy their company.
So I don't do small talk. I'm always like, oh, you asked me how I am.
You don't have to do small talk, but I know you have 3 stories. And all it takes is 3 stories. Could be about a movie you saw recently, could be about a fun holiday story from 5 years ago that made you laugh, could be about something your beautiful dog Sonora did recently. Any question somebody asks, you can redirect to one of those 3 stories, and then you decrease your own anxiety as an introvert because you don't have to dread talking to people. Because you know, anytime you talk to someone, you're just going to rattle off those 3 stories.
Okay, I love this. You know, you got me with the Sonora part, my beautiful dog. You know, you got me with that because I feel like I've got to be honest, right? I always want to be honest, and I always want to, and I like deep talk. I'm the person who at a party, you will find me near the food or the animal, and I will usually find a couple of people, and then you ask me, I will tell you the truth, the deep truth, right in your eyes, and I will ask you open-ended questions. I will ask you.
If you find that one person, that's great. But if prickly Uncle Ned comes to talk to you,
I got to tell you. So I would say that. Oh, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, well, you know that happens. What happened there? So as soon as you said prickly Uncle Ned, I was trying to think who that version is in my family. I think. Oh, damn it! Totally lost my train of thought. Damn it! It was something really profound that was going to help all of you in a deep and important way. Oh no. It was probably about Sonora, to be honest. Oh, yeah. Or we can go that way. I have to say, like, I do think we wanted to talk about other people in the world, but it is also, we're talking a little bit ourselves. Like, whether you're an extrovert or an introvert this season is a lot.
It's a lot.
I think it is, some of the stuff we're talking about is for when you're having a very stressful time this holiday season. I mean, it's stressful for everybody. But one of the reasons we wanted to make it cozy and why I brought you to my grotto, while you're in my grotto today, is to take care of yourselves, right? Like this is a marathon. There's a lot of beauty. There's so much goodness in it. And if you aren't filling up your own cup while you're taking care of others with some new strategies, while you are finding ways to be of service, I mean, all those things are going to help. And you need to find ways to just cozy up, right? Wear the things that feel good to you, cuddle the adorable dog or cat that you love so much, have your favorite piece of pie. To me, those are really important things that we need to make room for so that we have that tender, loving care.
Absolutely.
And especially the part, like I've got to tell you, I honestly think the way I'm getting through this holiday season, even though it is cold, and my Mexican dog weirdly loves the cold and snow, is that she and I go out and play in the snow. We play in the snow, and like my stress levels go. Boo.
Yeah, play is good for us. Surprise!
Yay! Unless you're playing against your family and they are bad winners.
Right. Play with yourself or...
Sorry, would you like to finish that? Would you
do something that is play for yourself. That could be with your dog.
I stopped listening at the beginning.
You know, I'm just going to take this opportunity to say, I think now's a good time for our takeaways. Melanie, do you have some takeaways?
That is actually, let's do takeaways. Dr. Heather, you had easily the most wisdom. I had easily the most diversions. Why don't you start with takeaways?
Well, my takeaways are when you're talking about a family member who is cognitively impaired, Alzheimer's, some kind of dementia, or honestly, even just elderly, you know, things change as we get older too. Make sure that you do what brings them joy or comfort or peace, or simply just puts a smile on their face. do that. Don't have the expectation that you're going to have the holiday you had 10 or 15 years ago. Have the expectation that you're going to do whatever you can this season to help them make the most out of it where they are. And really, if you're an introvert, 3 questions or 3 answers to questions. That's all you need. Have them in your back pocket, ready to go. Easy peasy. You don't have to worry. Decreases your anxiety. And lastly, protect the cook. If you don't belong in the kitchen, stay out of the kitchen. Volunteer to be a gatekeeper if that suits you. And if not, just stay out of the kitchen yourself. And if you're the cook, find a gatekeeper. Protect your brain, because cooking is important. We all want a delicious meal at the end of the day.
We do all want a delicious meal. Heather, those are amazing takeaways. I think people will be so helped by that. I would just add that if we're taking care of the people we love who are having a difficult holiday, be with them where they are in the darkness, hold up a little light, and gently find your way forward. It is the surest pathway to help them have a good holiday. And it's not depressing when you're in it together. It's not as depressing when you're in it together. That's where the comfort lies. And the same thing, if you're looking out at the world right now and it looks bleak, it looks too bleak, and you think, well, I can't celebrate now, I can't do anything now, I would say celebrate now. Find one way to celebrate and that feels authentic and brings joy, because there will never be a perfect time. And find one way to be of service, asymmetrical service. You wish there was no war in Ukraine? So do I. You can't stop it. You can go and feed lunch to the unhoused. Do that, and you'll find agency. You will find hope. You will find an energy and a feeling of optimism about the world. And I would say, if you are being kept out of the kitchen by some gatekeeper who does not see your value, you go find yourself a hidey hole, you look in the mirror and you say, I am nature's greatest miracle, while listening to RuPaul's Hey Sis, It's Christmas at high volume. And you know what? Find the people to hang out with and spend time with who fill you up. Like Heather.
Like Melanie.
If you've got questions, comments, you need support or resources, I've got ideas. I know Dr. Heather knows loads, like a million.
Hit us with your holiday questions. We're happy to help you out.
Please.
We want you to make this season more festivus.
A festivus for the rest of us. Yes.
It's a festivus for the rest of us.
I got a lot of problems with you. If you don't get that reference, we don't want you. You can't sit with us. Call back.
No mean girls today, Melanie. Only festive.
I
got it.
Gatekeeper. Sorry. Get out of the kitchen, Marshall.
Get out of the kitchen, Marshall.
Sorry, folks. It's been a little chaotic, but I hope that that's giving you a sense of probably what it would be like if Heather and I hosted a holiday party. The food would be great.
Maybe we will.
It would be amazing. The lights would be great. The mood would be banging. I'd still be sitting under the table with a dog. And Heather would make sure that it was running great, you were all taken care of, and there was amazing food. Okay, we've got to go. Okay, have a wonderful week, everybody. Questions, serious questions, funny questions, need for support, put them in the chat. Thank you.